Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Again.
Kids are back up at house for them. Can't get rid of them.
Oh, have you? God.
Kids, 26 and 23.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, that's what you never do. Good morning. Yes, good. Thanks.
Start with some injury news, please.
At this moment, Bruno will miss out. The good news is that he felt his hamstring in the last game. Obviously, came off, but it's nowhere near as bad as what we probably thought he would have been at the time. So we're hopeful that he might be able to get out on the training pitch at some stage, maybe towards the end of next week. So that's good news from what it could have been, but Bruno will miss out, and still at this moment Andoni and Izquierdo will also miss out.
I read the post-match comments you made after Watford and some by your players as well. You seem very disappointed with that result. Can we expect significant changes for this visit of United in terms of the starting 11?
No, I think the decisions that I always have to make is that we were very disappointed with the performance. Last week we know that we can either win somewhere or lose anywhere, and particularly away from home. So we didn't expect a comfortable game. And if you lose in a manner that you can accept, but it was just the performance wasn't one that was the level that we expected. So around that one, I have to make the decisions on what changes I need to make, or it's a bad start for us, and look for that type of reaction, and certainly I'll make my decisions around that.
I remember a few years ago, obviously you kept Norwich up in your first season there, and it was a bit more difficult in the second one. You're in your second season in the Premier League now. I mean, do you believe in this thing about the second season being more difficult, or is that just a bit of a footballing myth?
I think so, but people tell me it's actually a myth. I think the facts don't say that that's the case, but I think it's something that people do speak about, and I think it's certainly one that you have to be guarded against, and what you've got to make sure is the balances go in your favour. And of course the other side to that one is that you've got players that have had the experiences of last season, and some very good moments last season, but also some disappointments of last season, which I would like to think that we're more experienced about now. And of course, you make additions to a squad in a summer, and hoping that's one factor that will also go in your favour. So I think on any balances at all, you've got to make sure that the balances go in your favour.
Having brought in 8 or 9 players, do you think that supporters need to accept or understand that it will take a few weeks, especially for the players from overseas, to just acclimatise, and maybe they won't give or you won't see their best for a few weeks yet?
I think what we do have, and what I've experienced so far, is that we have a very realistic group of supporters. There is no doubt that it's normal for expectations to rise. That is normal, and that won't just be here. That's anywhere. Any club, and there have been some clubs that have spent big money this summer, and expectations will rise. It comes with the job and with the territory. But I think we have a realistic group of supporters. With the club have come a long way in a relatively, in football terms, a relatively short period of time, and I think they accept that, and it is normal. And if we look at a starting lineup last weekend, we had one in effect one new player that was starting, and we have others that will be introduced in periods of time. So I think they understand that.
You gave a very good account of yourselves last season in both league games against Man United. Do you believe there is a way of playing against them? Because you probably fared better against them than a lot of teams in the division.
I think they have a different style to. If we look at the top six, they have a little bit of a different style to maybe some of the other teams in the top six. But of course, what they do have is they have a squad and a team that's packed with quality, and hence, that's why they win as many games as what they do, and it's of course up to them in the manner in which they choose to do that. So. Do I think it's because of a way of playing? No, I think it's just one of them circumstances. We did fare well against them in all three games, actually, and of course most people would certainly remember the home game against them towards the end of the season. We will need to get to them levels, and I'd probably like to think more that we made a very good account of ourselves in them games, as opposed to a United side that didn't do so well on the day, and we'll need to get to somewhere near them levels again.
What have you made of Jose Mourinho over the last year or so? I mean, it's been suggested that he seems a bit grumpy, his body language isn't quite what it was. Is that just what happens when you approach 60?
No, I think that's what happens when you are a top manager, and he is one of our best managers, and if you look at the record he has of winning things, and I think when you are that type of manager, you are going to be in the spotlight far more than others, and everything is going to be picked up. They got off to a winning start last week, which is something that they do on a regular basis, and I think it's just he's a very high profile manager, but he's managed a team that are more used to winning than losing.
Are you surprised they didn't strengthen more over the summer? I think you probably spent more than they did. No, I think everybody spends to what their requirements are, and as a manager of this football club, you're never aware or privy or know what the needs are of any other club, and certainly any transfer business that they did is it's their priorities, and perhaps nobody else's. But they are a team with the quality that they've got in the squad that you very, very much expect to be right up there again. Just finally from me, Toe Mohammed, is there still a possibility he could go on loan to QPR? Have they been in contact?
No, at this moment he's our player, and certainly any conversations or any inquiries that come into the club are always something that's sort of very private and kept very much in house.
Chris, how much inspiration will you take from that 1-0 victory here last season?
As much inspiration as what we have to, and it is difficult to come away from it, because that's what a lot of people remember. It was our last home. It was our last, irrespective of the fact it was Manchester United. It was our last home Premier League game. So that's what a lot will remember, and they remember it for obviously the good parts of it. And again, I say we will need to get somewhere near that type of performance, certainly, to get a result.
How much will the fans have a part to play? How big a part?
Well, the supporters have been excellent. If I can talk about the period of time that I've been at the club in the last few seasons, but if I just wanted to talk about last season, which is of course our first season in the Premier League, they were outstanding, home and away, and it's a big factor and a big part for us. We had a good home record. The challenges for us is to improve away from home, and of course a part of that is the part that the supporters play.
You say expectation levels are higher. Does that bring added pressure this season?
It does, but that comes with the job and what we do and what players do. But anything that we speak about, expectations, it's no different anywhere else. There are some clubs that spent very big this summer, and expectations will go up at them clubs, and it's very much part and parcel of what we do, and what you have to do is you certainly have to accept it and look forward to it.
You mentioned Andoni and Izquierdo. How long before they're back in the
Very close. I think it's always a little bit frustrating when you have players either you just signed or players that have played a big part that are not available, but it's part and parcel of the job. You have to get on with it. But both of them are very close.
And I imagine the other new players are itching to get onto the field. Do you have to manage that accordingly?
Yes, but I think some of it's the very realistic. I think the players and we're seeing that far more at other clubs. Players that have been away on World Cup duty and so on are having to take that little bit longer to come back in. So they're realistic as well. We have players that were here, day one pre-season, that have done the whole of the pre-season, so are fully up to speed. And some that are not for various reasons, and they certainly understand that.
And just finally, Chris, what are the primary targets this season? Is it simply just improving on last year, or is it more than that? The targets are, for us, it's can we improve on last season? Ultimately, it's about staying in this division. It's still only our second season. We're still very much a developing club. We've seen the spending power of clubs that have been promoted last season to this season. I don't see the season being any less tough than what it was last season. So it's about staying in the division and improving from where we are. But could Brighton have a season like Burnley did? It's a similar setup there, stable.
Sure. If I look at the season that Burnley have, then there are numerous clubs that are capable of doing that. But what Burnley done, I have to say, I thought was exceptional. For the budget that they've got. So I thought they were exceptional last season, and have started in good form again this season, with certainly with their win last night.
Chris, you mentioned you had some players in early, but Martin Montoya was a deadline day signing. Where is he at? You mentioned the fact that you had to switch Bernardo to right back when Bruno's out. Where is he? Is he? I know he's had a little bit of pre-season games.
Yes, his level's good at the moment. So that's a decision that I will have to make. But certainly as regards his availability to play, then he's fine. Yeah.